Hi, my name is Keisha Dokken, and I'm your child's 7th grade math teacher. That means they are either in trans math or algebra with me. You can see here my contact information, my email, and my phone number, and feel free to email me or give me a call at any time if you have questions or concerns. I am making this screencast for you because I'm not able to be at back to school night this year. There's a couple of big things that you need to know about 7th grade math. In both algebra and trans, we use a flipped classroom model. And this means that students are doing things a little bit differently at home and then during class than we traditionally would see. At home, before students come to class, they're going on Moodle and they're taking notes. And those notes are slideshows, PowerPoint presentations that they copy down into their notebook. This includes some basic vocab and maybe some examples of the math content. Then when they come to class, we will go over those notes briefly, do some activities, maybe a group discussion, and some additional examples to clarify their learning that they took part in during the notes, and then they will also be starting their assignment during class. After class then, they might have their assignment to finish, but they should be correcting their assignment also. And they can do this using the answer key, which is also posted on Moodle. Then they'll be fixing any mistakes that they made and then going ahead to take the next day's notes from the Moodle website. So in class then, we do what we call a DMR, or Daily Math Review. This is a warm-up set of problems that we do together, just to get their brains thinking and to kind of review what the previous day's lessons included. We also review notes that they took at home, like I said, and do some examples together. And then most of the time that they spend in class is either some kind of activity that we do as a group or a group discussion, and then actually getting started on their assignment or their practice problems. And this is usually in the form of problems from the textbook or worksheets or packets that have to go along with the material. If they finish with that, then they can actually go ahead and start taking notes for the next lesson. There's a lot of benefits to this, and a lot of research has been done around the flipped classroom model. And one of the benefits that I see in math is that they can get their questions answered before they leave for the day. And they get a lot of opportunity to have guided practice with me, kind of helping them along before I set them free to do their assignment. And it really helps me understand who is getting the material and who isn't before they leave class, so that I can clarify any misunderstandings that they might have. In math, we do something called Cornell Notes, and this is an AVID strategy. So if your student is in AVID, that's something that they might be familiar with. But if not, we do kind of a modified version of it in math. And it really helps students become interactive with their notebook, where they're not just copying things down, but they're trying to make sense of their notes, they're interacting with their notes, they're learning how to use their notes to study, and then they're reflecting on the content that they learned as they were taking notes. And a lot of research has been done around this idea of studying, and in math it's a little bit difficult to study because students may think that if they just come to class and do the assignments or the practice problems, they understand the material. But in fact, they can go back to their notes within 24 hours, so that would be the next day. If they spend 10 minutes the next day reviewing what they wrote down, they're going to be able to retain that information more and in a deeper way. 7 days later then, which is maybe when we might have a quiz, or in a couple weeks then we have a test, it will only take just a couple of minutes to refresh their memory or reactivate that information. So we're going to work a lot this year on how to take notes and how to use those notes to study. On Moodle, there is a math course, and this is the online component to what we do in class. And there's a lot of really useful information on this Moodle page. Now, students can show you what is on the Moodle page, but there is no separate login information for parents. So you either need to have your child walk you through that every day, or whenever you want to see it, or you need to get their login information from them. So on Moodle, students will see a calendar of assignments, and that includes everything for the whole unit, including homework and notes and quizzes and tests, so they can kind of plan ahead their weeks and their months like that. They will also see all the things that they need when they're absent, including the notes, and then if they need to print any extra worksheets, if they misplaced it, or were absent, they can do that from Moodle. Also, the answer keys are on there for students to correct their own work. I find that if students have immediate feedback on what they did correctly or incorrectly, they're more likely to go back and fix it at that moment instead of waiting to come to class. Then it kind of seems like absent from their memory, that they've kind of moved on from that time of doing homework. So I want to make sure they get the immediate feedback from the answer key so they can go back and look at that problem and fix it right away. Students in math are graded 90% tests and 10% homework and quizzes. And with the quizzes include points for taking notes. So on the days that we have quizzes is when I check that students are actually following through with that note-taking piece at home. So for the actual assignments, I put in a grade for that at the end of each chapter or each unit. I don't do a daily grade for homework. I just put all those points in as one grade at the end. But on a daily basis, I do check their homework, and they get 3 points for each assignment. And that means 1 point for completing the assignment, 1 point for showing any necessary work, and then 1 point for following through on not only correcting it, but fixing their mistakes. On quizzes, which is only 5% of their grade, students can use the notes that they've taken, and I do grade the notes just on completion, and that goes in with the quiz grade. And then tests are at the end of each chapter or unit. They cannot use their notes on that test, and they may have an additional assessment opportunity or a retake if they score below 66%. That means they've not shown mastery of the standards, and they need to go back and complete a review assignment and meet with me to make sure they're understanding the material before they actually get to do that retake. Again, if your child needs additional help or if you have additional questions, please feel free to email me or give me a call, or have your child email me if they have a question. Like I said, they can also talk to me in class. We have a lot of work time during the hour where they can hopefully get their question answered. We also have the math lab at Southview, and that's going to start on the 14th. And for trans, it's Monday and Wednesday in room 214, and algebra is Tuesday and Thursday in room 229, but it runs 2:45 until 4 o'clock every day but Friday. Thank you very much, and please feel free to email me or give me a call if you have any questions or concerns, and I look forward to meeting you at conferences in November. Thank you.